Hello everyone, I am Wendy with Winds of Change Ministries, and I am actually, this is the third time that I am doing this video because high winds came and blew my plant off of its hook twice, and I had to restart the video. So this is take 3, and both times that the wind blew my plant off was when I started talking and kind of poking fun at this video that mentions cannabis. All right. So first, let me repeat how I started the video, and then I'll talk more about the cannabis part. All right. So on Mother's Day, I posted my video right there, the Mother's Day video, and I did a refresh on my cell phone, and I saw my video with this other video, the cannabis video, on top of it, and it thrilled me because I took it as one of the signs that God wanted me to surround myself with men to help build the empire. Okay. And so anyway, so I took it as a sign of that. As you can see, you've got a Mother Mary character who is being surrounded by a bunch of men, and they all have this solar disc type of headdress on, this hat. All right. And so again, I took this as one of the signs of how God wants me to move forward. But my plant fell down twice when I started mocking the cannabis message. I don't use any substances to ascend. All right. Now I've had dreams where that were religious in nature, which were not religious, spiritual. I knew that they were messages from God. And they dealt with marijuana in my dreams. And I thought, how strange. I haven't been around marijuana in decades. And I never was a user either. I mean, in my youth, I took, I think, maybe 3 drags at a couple different times. I was like, nope, that didn't work for me. Oh, try it again. Took a drag. Nope. The only thing it ever did for me was scratch my throat, and I didn't enjoy it. Okay, gave me a scratchy throat. That's it. So I never was an advocate for this usage, but I recognized the symbolism of it, that it represented ascending and getting high. All right. And because my ministry is about helping people ascend and get higher, I just took it as that. And that's where I left it, the symbolism. That's it. So, and I was mocking it. And then God blew my plant off 2 different times, 2 different videos, okay? I thought, well, maybe I need to open this video up and see what it really is. So I went on my computer and looked it up. All right, because it's talking about how cannabis isn't what you think. All right, and I started watching it, and I truly am humbled, because I went into this video with a whole different end game. Okay, a whole different mindset, and what I discovered was that. Because the people that I know who have used cannabis, they have all, just kind of squandered their lives away. They've just wasted their lives as couch potatoes, lumps on the log. That's what they've done. And I have recognized that cannabis is just a Band-Aid to mask people's pain, rather than dealing with the core issues of what's ailing them, they band-aid it, okay? And this is what I know to be true. So I was like, okay, God blew off this plant for a reason. Let's see what's in this video. And I started to watch it, and it mentioned, it backed me up. It said modern recreational use does do that. It's just a band-aid. It doesn't help people deal with their core issues. Okay? So we were on the same page. And then it taught me something new. It said for people who struggle with very strong egos, all right, cannabis helps deactivate something in their brain for a period of time, which will reduce the ego and allow that individual, when spiritually guided, when properly guided. So it's all about intention. It's not recreation, it's intention. Are you going into the session for healing or just for a band-aid? Okay? So if your intention is to purposely try to dig deep into your core self and find the hidden wounds within yourself, then this herb, this natural herb, when used properly, can be very beneficial. And they did studies at Stanford, all right, to back this claim up, you know. The neuroscientists at Stanford did studies on this. And so I have to humble myself, humble that ego. See, I can do it naturally. It's not hard for me to humble myself, to come back with, to retrace my steps and say, oh, I made a mistake. But some people actually really struggle with supercharged egos, that they don't deal with the core issues that's ailing them, and because and their egos won't let them deal with those core child wounds. Okay, and so I was just really amazed by this, because it's not a problem of mine. I recognize in order to ascend, you have to allow an aspect of yourself to dig deep and descend into and heal your inner child wounds. I already know this for myself. But I don't have an ego problem to the extent that some people do. I can humble myself, and I'm doing that. I'm using this as an example right now of how I am humbling. You know, God gave me a sign. He let this plant fall down twice, prompting me to go research this video and really watch it. And so now I see that God wants me to not be such a stick in the mud for people who do have, who need extra help to drop that ego so that they can deal with their core wounds. All right. Now, like I said, I've had many dreams in my private life that dealt with where God gave me dreams where smoking marijuana helped people ascend. And I wasn't going to partake of it. I don't need it. God's already crowned me, okay? But I had no idea that dropping the ego was so hard for some people. And so now I recognize that I can't be such a stick in the mud about it. So I've had dreams, and also about 6.5, 7 months ago, I had a vision. All right. It was the very first time that I was watching a guy's videos from time to time. And it was the very first time I went on his live stream. And so I was live with him. All right. So I was able to tap in on an energetic level. And I had an open vision. And in that vision, I was him. I was in his body. And I saw him reach down and take a puff and then put it back down. And then the vision was over. Now, he did this in preparation for his show. All right. Now, I'm not saying that this individual actually does this, but I knew instantly what it meant, what it symbolized, because see, I was in him. And I told this individual, I said, in a comment, I wrote him and I said that I had that vision right before the show on the very first live stream that I watched with him. And I told him that it meant that God was bringing us together so that we can ascend together. All right? That was God's intention, for us to ascend together. And now this individual is a great guy. He struggles with a supercharged ego. And I am making this video. At first I wasn't going to make this video is doing a complete turnaround from where I first started, okay? But I now see that it is kind of like an olive branch. I'm sending this individual an olive branch to remind him the purpose of our relationship, and also to apologize for not recognizing how difficult it is for him to dig deep and deal with his core issues. And so, I apologize. All right? There goes the wind. Don't blow it off again. All right. So anyway, yeah, my poor plant. It got damaged a little bit. But anyway, yes. So from me to you, I'm sorry for not being more understanding. And I hope that this video gives you a little bit more insight on how you can help yourself deal with your core wounds, you know, as we continue to ascend together. All right? So, I've got great news. I've got wonderful news. So, my neighbor told me, Wendy, did you know you have cherries on your cherry tree? And I said, no, because my cherry trees, when I first moved to my property 6 years ago, I planted fruit trees that were already a couple of years old, all right? And they were dry roots planted, okay? So anyway, and it was 6 years ago, and the only cherries that I've gotten off of that tree was last year, because it takes forever for cherry trees, and it was like 3 or 4 cherries. And these are Bing cherries, and so they're supposed to be a little bit on the green side. And my tree is full of cherries this year that were ripe. And my little black cherry tree, it has 2 cherries, which is what that tree had last year. So hopefully my black cherry tree will have a bunch of cherries next year. And so my peach trees are loaded, my pear trees are loaded, my cherry tree is doing very good compared to 6 years of nothing. And I just feel like, I'm coming into a season of fruitfulness, and I'm speaking that over my life, and with the evidence that God has given me. These are organic cherry trees, Bing cherries that I grew myself, and I used the back to Eden garden system to do this. So they're organic, and I don't even water this. I don't even water my trees because the Back to Eden garden, it's supposed to retain water. But anyway, I'm very excited, and I do feel a great sense of, I feel like God's going to turn some things around. I'm going to become more fruitful, and the people who associate with me, I'm going to be able to help them and also have more of an understanding of how challenging it is for some people. Even though they want to drop their ego, sometimes it's just too stinking hard. It's too stinking hard. But you gotta deal with your core wounds, all right? And that's how you get your crown. It's not that you stay high all the time. We're not talking about recreational usage, okay? We're talking about intentional spiritual healing, all right? I'm going to eat my cherries. But again, thank you for watching. My name is Wendy, and we're all living in the winds of change.